Did you know that about 70% of wealthy families lose their fortunes by the second generation? And a staggering 90% are broke by the third generation. These numbers are shocking, but they reveal a hard truth. Wealth alone is not enough. Without continuous learning and growth, even the richest families can fall apart. In a world that changes every day, the key to staying ahead is knowledge. The richest people know this, and that's why they invest in learning throughout their lives. They understand that education doesn't stop after school. In fact, it's just the beginning. In this video, we'll explore how the rich are born, how they live, and most importantly, how they learn. We'll uncover unique strategies they use to stay ahead and avoid the decline that so many face. You'll discover the hidden lessons they pass down to their children and the mindset shifts that keep them thriving. Are you ready to learn the secrets that set the wealthy apart? Stick around, because what you discover could change your perspective on wealth, success, and the power of lifelong learning. Chapter 1. Born into advantage, destined for decline? Are the rich set up for failure if they don't invest in learning? It's a question that's more relevant than ever. Wealth can be a huge advantage at birth, but it's not enough to guarantee success. Studies show that 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation, and 90% by the third. That's not just bad luck, it's often because they didn't keep learning. Many wealthy people inherit not just money but an outdated mindset. They believe the wealth will take care of itself. But in today's fast-changing world, standing still is just as dangerous as moving backward. Those who don't keep up with new knowledge are destined to be left behind. In fact, a study by Harvard Business Review revealed that lifelong learning is one of the top traits shared by successful leaders. Wealth is like a head start in a race, but if you're not willing to run, you'll still get overtaken. Richard Branson once said, "If you don't take risks, you risk everything." The rich who stop learning are taking a bigger risk than they realize. It's not just about losing money, it's about losing relevance. Those born into advantage often think they're immune to failure. But without investing in growth, even the richest can fall. This leads us to a hard truth. The rich are not immune to decline, and the comfort of wealth can be a trap if not paired with continuous learning. Chapter 2. Living the dream or living in a bubble? The comfort of wealth can be a double-edged sword. Many people who come from wealth live comfortably, often too comfortably. They're insulated from the struggles most people face, but that insulation can also turn into isolation. Living in a bubble, they don't feel the urgency to grow, adapt, or innovate. This creates a dangerous form of complacency. A study by the Boston Consulting Group found that 44% of family wealth is destroyed within just one generation due to poor decision-making and complacency. Wealth gives people the freedom to live well without the same pressures, but it also dulls the drive to improve. People living in comfort zones rarely feel the need to push beyond them. This comfort zone effect can be deceptive. Wealth, like muscle, can deteriorate if it's not actively maintained. We've all heard stories of trust fund kids blowing through their inheritance. But it's not just bad money management, it's a lack of skill development and intellectual curiosity. As Warren Buffett once said, "The more you learn, the more you earn," and the inverse is true as well. Stop learning, and you'll eventually lose. It's not just the rich who are susceptible to this. Anyone can fall into a bubble of comfort and think they're untouchable. But if you're not growing, you're shrinking. The richest people stay rich by continuously learning, investing in themselves, and stepping out of their bubbles. Chapter 3. Learning. The untold secret of the 1%. If you look closely, the wealthiest people in the world have one thing in common: they never stop learning. A 2020 study by Stanford found that 72% of self-made millionaires read 2 or more books a month. Learning isn't something they see as optional. It's their secret weapon. Take Bill Gates, for example. He reads about 50 books a year and says it's his primary way of learning new things. Elon Musk is known for teaching himself rocket science by reading books on physics and engineering. These people don't just rely on what they already know, they actively seek new knowledge to stay ahead. The wealthiest individuals view education as an ongoing process. They don't stop just because they've made it. This constant learning is what keeps them ahead of the curve. They understand that the world is always changing, and if they don't evolve with it, they'll get left behind. It's not just about formal education, either. Many of the wealthiest people engage in what's called just-in-time learning, which means they learn new skills as soon as they need them. In fact, a survey from Deloitte showed that 94% of business leaders believe that continuous learning is critical to success in the 21st century. That's why the wealthiest people don't just invest in stocks or real estate, they invest in themselves. They know that knowledge compounds, much like wealth does. Even if you're already successful, the mindset that there's always more to learn is crucial. The moment you think you know everything, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start falling behind. Jeff Bezos once said, "You need to be willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time if you're going to innovate." Part of that comes from a willingness to learn continuously, even when others aren't. Learning is what keeps the rich rich, and the smartest among them know that staying curious and educated is the best investment they can make. It's not just about keeping up, it's about staying ahead. In a world where knowledge is power, those who stop learning are giving up their most valuable asset. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights on wealth, learning, and success strategies. Chapter 4. The Silent Teachers of the Ultra-Rich. One thing the wealthiest people have mastered is learning from hidden sources. They don't just rely on formal education or the knowledge they picked up early in life. Instead, they actively seek out mentors, rare books, and exclusive circles to keep learning. A study by Fidelity found that 88% of millionaires attribute their success to a mentor. Mentorship is a huge part of how the ultra-rich grow their knowledge base. They surround themselves with people smarter than them. This helps them stay sharp and gain new perspectives. For instance, Mark Zuckerberg famously sought out Steve Jobs as a mentor. He knew that learning from someone who'd already paved the way would be more valuable than figuring it out alone. Another quiet teacher for the rich is reading. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett both credit reading as a critical component of their success. Gates devours books on everything from science to politics, while Buffett spends 80% of his day reading. Buffett even said, "The best investment you can make is in yourself," and that's exactly what reading does. But it's not just any kind of reading. The rich read with purpose. They don't just consume information, they actively look for knowledge they can apply. They're strategic, seeking out rare and valuable insights that others might overlook. Just because something is common knowledge doesn't mean it's correct, as Peter Thiel wrote in 0 to 1. The ultra-wealthy aren't afraid to challenge popular thinking. Exclusive mastermind groups also play a key role. These invite-only circles allow wealthy individuals to share high-level ideas and learn from one another. This peer-to-peer learning is one of the most valuable tools they use to stay on top. It's about tapping into the collective intelligence of people who are constantly pushing boundaries. Ultimately, the ultra-rich understand that the best teachers aren't always obvious. They're willing to seek out wisdom from books, mentors, and their peers. This is how they maintain their edge. Chapter 5. How the Rich Think. Beyond money, beyond now. When you dive into how the rich think, you'll see that their mindset is worlds apart from most people. They don't just think about money, they think about growth, opportunity, and strategy. And it's not just about immediate returns. The ultra-wealthy are playing a long game, one that's built on forward thinking. One of the biggest mindset shifts they embrace is thinking in terms of abundance, not scarcity. This is something Tony Robbins talks about extensively in Money, Master the Game. The wealthy don't see the world as having limited resources or opportunities. Instead, they believe there's always more to learn, more to achieve, and more ways to grow. This mindset allows them to take risks and innovate, while others are stuck in fear. Another key to their thinking is seeing failure as a stepping stone, not an end. Jeff Bezos once said, "If you're not stubborn, you'll give up on experiments too soon. And if you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and miss solutions." This ability to pivot, adapt, and keep learning is why many wealthy people thrive, even after failures. The rich also prioritize thinking strategically. Instead of getting caught up in daily tasks, they focus on high-level thinking. They delegate the small stuff so they can focus on future trends, industry shifts, and big opportunities. According to a report from the Harvard Business Review, 79% of successful leaders spend at least 1 day a week thinking about strategy. This kind of long-term thinking is crucial. It's not just about making money today, it's about setting up systems for future success. Elon Musk, for example, isn't just building cars. He's thinking about how humanity will survive in the future and investing in space travel. The richest people don't think about just one problem or one business. They think about how their work impacts the world. In short, the way the rich think sets them apart. They think bigger, act bolder, and aren't afraid to take calculated risks. This mindset fuels their growth and ensures they don't get left behind. If you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe for more tips on how to build wealth, think like the rich, and invest in your future.